I've been thinking about this a lot. And the way I see it, with what is going on with Trump and his sudden turn in position on everything that he was campaigning for, I know a lot of people are like really surprised and disappointed. And I'm actually one of those people. I'm very disappointed too. I'm not surprised, but I'm very disappointed. You always like hope that someone's not lying to you when they're running for office. They only give you two options to choose from. So, it's kind of hard. So you really want to hope that whichever one wins does have your best interest at heart. You really want to hope that. So it's very disappointing when it too often turns out that isn't really the case. And as far as Trump goes and why he may have sold out, or if he was always like that, here's my opinion. One of two things. Either he was always sold out and he's been lying like most politicians do this whole time, or he sold out somewhere along the way. And if I had to guess, and I have no idea, this is all speculation and opinion, obviously, I'm just guessing here. But if I did have to guess, I would guess he possibly could have sold out us as well as himself when he realized that literally everyone attached to how he has his money and his control, everyone attached to that is part of the problem. Maybe because, let's face it, someone is really in that position, in a position of any position of power, is only as good as their contacts, right? And their money. That's all their, what I mean? Listen, that's just the unfortunate fact about the way the system's set up. And that's a whole nother deeper argument for another day. That's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about specifically, why did Donald Trump sell us out? Why did he sell us out when he seemed like the most hopeful candidate of them all? And honestly, if he had sold out or had been sold out all along, you know what I mean? That would just, I don't think it's that simple. I really don't. And I'm not trying to give him any kind of benefit of the doubt. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, I just feel like if he had been sold out this whole time, he would have worded things a little differently. And I could be wrong about that. I could be totally wrong about that. But I just remember when he was running, he was really adamant about the Israel war ending. That was, there's a couple other things that he was adamant about that he's changed his mind on. But that really specifically sticks out to me. And and listen, I'm not trying to be anti-Semitic. I'm not even going to argue with you all about that. I'm just being real. I want to speak facts here. Okay? The things that I've observed from Donald Trump and his behavior towards all these things that are happening. Like when he was campaigning and he was on the election campaign trail, he was, adamant that the situation between Israel and Gaza needed to be resolved. It had been going on long enough. Too many innocent Palestinians were dying, and something needed to happen. He was pretty clear about that. But then he did a total 180. Somewhere along the way, he did a total 180. And acted and now he just pretty much says yes to everything that Israel needs. Everything. It's astonishing, actually. It's the only country I see him act this way about. Like literally anything they want, he seems to give them. He even spent a New Year holiday with the leader of Israel. Very, very strange, in my opinion. So, he changed his mind on that. And some people say, well, he also did the same thing with Epstein. But did he? Not necessarily. I know that the media and everyone keeps saying, you campaigned on this. You campaigned on releasing the Epstein files. But not really, not necessarily. You know what I mean? I remember the question, okay? And I remember the answers. I don't remember who the interviewer was, but I remember he was asking Donald Trump, would you release the JFK files? Trump, yes. Would you release the 9/11 files? Trump, yes. Would you release the Epstein files? Trump. I don't know. I don't really see where that matters. I guess I would. That was the answer. More or less. I'm paraphrasing. But that was more or less the answer he gave about the Epstein files. So he didn't really technically say he was going to release them. You know what I mean? He kind of averted that question the best he could. He gave like a kind of maybe answer. You know what I mean? That was the vibes, which was very different from the answer he gave to all the other files of things of which happened years and years ago, and most likely the people that are responsible for those things are gone, or you know what I mean? So it was a very weird way to answer it. It was, and nobody seemed to have caught that. Like, why are you acting as if that would be less important than the other two? You know what I mean? Because with Epstein, this was recent. Like, I don't know. So like I said, you know what I mean? He kind of always had an idea of how he was going to act or what he was going to do about these Epstein files. No, maybe he didn't give us any direct answers, but the lack of a direct answer kind of is an answer. So we kind of always knew deep down he wasn't going to release those files because he insinuated as much. But however, with the other things, it's totally different. It was there was somewhere along the way where he just absolutely had to embarrass himself, lose face, and reverse course. And Israel is one of the bigger ones that I've noticed him do that over. Now, I will leave it open to a very unlikely but possible third possibility, however unlikely it may be. Maybe Trump is playing some sort of long game. You know what I mean? Like a long game, chess game. Maybe he is doing that. I think what I find upsetting the most is his seemingly first let me say this. I am not a very big Candace Owens fan. In fact, maybe 80 to 90% of the crap she says, I really don't agree that much with. But to see the fact that a foreign president is trying to bully one of our citizens to stop talking and using their right to free speech, and for him not to defend them. And listen, Candace, she's not even just a normal citizen technically. Technically she helped him get elected. And it seems to be a common theme with him and his allies. He seems to be turning his back on a lot of his once thought of the people who helped him get elected, pretty much. He's turning his back on them. And Candace that's a big one to me, because the French president is suing her. That's some serious stuff, all because she dared to talk about, and I really don't agree with that either, what she said about the French president. Listen, I don't give a crap one way or the other. That's not what I mean. I don't mean the gender. I really, really don't give a shit what the French president's body parts are. I really don't. I'm not really sure why Candace gave a shit that much. To me, the big story there that everyone was missing was the pedophilia. But anywho, I digress. The point is that Candace is allowed to talk about what she wants to talk about. If she'd rather talk about the body parts that he has or the lack thereof that he doesn't have, oh my gosh, maybe I do believe it. Maybe I do believe Candace. I'm sitting there calling. Sorry, okay. Brigitte, Anyways, it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter. The point is the pedophilia. That was the whole point of the story. And it all got missed in translation. But put simply, Candace is allowed to talk about what she wants to talk about. And I just find it shocking that, you know what I mean? Like Trump's fake. He's like, he's shown us how fake he is. He doesn't actually stand for the things he says. He just said all that to get elected. Because if he did, he'd be defending her right to talk. But no, he actually called her to tell her to shut up. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Someone who's all gassed up and fired up about freedom of speech, according to him, and he's asking one of his own citizens to stop talking and criticizing a foreign leader? There's something not right with that. There's something not right with that. I mean, you know, if you ignore everything else, like, there's really something not right with that. But I would like to say, Candace has been killing it lately with her stories, though. I think she's actually starting to see that all these roads are going to keep leading back to child trafficking over and over and over. Whenever you got elite families, rich families, you know, I don't care if they're Jewish or not. I'm talking about the elite families, the elite rich families. Some of them do happen to be Jewish. And I think she's starting to see that all roads are just going to keep leading back to child trafficking. I think the spell, whatever magical spell they put under society, must still be kind of strong. If, like, I mean, even though she's noticing that it's all leading back to child trafficking, I really hope at some point she's going to grasp that, oh, this is the story. This always was the story. The child trafficking. It always was. And all roads will keep leading back to it. And yeah, we need to willfully break ourselves of that spell. Because it's an easy spell to come back over you again, where you start to think that there are other things that are more important than that. But, like, at the end of the day, that really is the most important thing. Our children. Our children are our future. You know what I mean? And if they're corrupting our children, they are corrupting humanity's future. And we cannot allow it. We can't allow it. Good for Candace. She's killing it. Bravo. Don't stop. Go Max. Whatever it is that they like to say. Okay, but anyways, let's get to the petition. Now, as I've said before, and I drafted this petition about a year ago. I think it'll be a year next month. And it's to defund and dismantle the CIA. And oh my God, this was before we knew all the stuff that has been uncovered in this last year. So, if anything, this whole last year has proved that I was right on the money. We were right on the money the whole time. The CIA is very much still evil, always was evil. Can't think of one single gosh darn thing they've ever done to help humanity. Can't even give an example. So yeah, they must go. They are the muscle of the deep state. They always have been. They're the boots on our necks, and they need to go. I am not suicidal. I am not accident prone in any way. And I'm allowed, God damn it, I'm sick of having to say that. I'm allowed to say I don't like this institution. This is America, isn't it? Even if it's only the illusion, we're allowed to go by this illusion without having to worry that something's going to happen to us. So you know what? No, I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. They cannot kill us all. Please, please sign and share this petition. Anything does happen to me, my family already knows to keep this petition going. So it doesn't matter. You can't kill my whole freaking family. Oh my God, you could try. It's a big family though. It's a big fucking family. I have a huge family. You have no clue who you'd be messing with. Anywho, so that's it. Sign, share the petition. That's the best way to keep us all safe. To sign it and pass it along to as many people as you can. Please, please, I'm begging you guys, make it go viral. I don't give a shit about my videos. I really don't. This is what I care about. This is honestly, truly what I care about. I want the petition to go viral. So if anybody who catches one of this video who knows how to make that happen, please, there's the barcode is right there on the screen and the link is in the description. So there are many ways to get to it. Please sign it and share it. That's all I have for today. I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks.